Hey guys, Ricardo here, and welcome to another blog tech tips. Here I have my Switch 2, and of course, with the Switch 2, we're gonna look at what we can actually do when you're having this particular issue with the Switch 2. And the issue in question is when you're getting the no signal problem. Now, of course, the no signal display will change according to the TV that you actually have. So for example, if this one is a TCL, it's different on LGs, it's different on Samsungs, but you get the idea. So if you're having a no signal issue, this is what you can actually do to fix the problem. First things first, go ahead and check your HDMI cable. Sometimes if the HDMI cable is not installed properly, it can cause problems. So make sure it's securely inserted one into the TV. So at the back of the TV, as you can see here, it's a bit dark. You can notice right here beside the red light, there is the HDMI cable. I'll move it back and forth. Make sure that it's all the way in. Sometimes it's not all the way in, and as a result, you're getting the result. So go ahead and unplug and reinsert. Make sure you shove it all the way in. If it's only partially in, you'll get that signal issue. Next, make sure that the cables are connected properly to the switch 2. So go ahead and turn the switch 2 on its back, as seen here. Then open the back compartment. It comes right off. Locate the HDMI. Make sure that the HDMI is all the way in. So make sure it's shoved in all the way. If it's sticking out too far, it means that it's not in properly. As you can see here, this is how it's supposed to properly be in. Also make sure that your HDMI your power cable, which is USB-C, is also in adequately. So if the HDMI is in properly, go ahead and check to make sure that the AC adapter, as you can see labeled here, is in properly. All right. Next, make sure that the power adapter is plugged in. If you're on a strip, plug it out from the strip and plug it directly into the wall. The strip might be at issue. Next, make sure that this is in fully. Sometimes these can be broken, so if you have a additional adapter, go ahead and switch that out, and of course make sure those things are connected properly. Next, make sure that the TV is on the right HDMI port. For example, here we're on HDMI 2. Sometimes you have connected the TV on HDMI 1 or HDMI 3, but you're actually on 2. So go to your remote, hit input on your remote, or of course navigate to the input settings, and of course check your inputs. So look at your inputs. The one that's supposed to be used should be highlighted, meaning it should come on. So go ahead and switch between those. Next, the device might be asleep because you took too long to actually choose the HDMI port. So if you're not seeing the light here, something is wrong. So go ahead guys and press the power button. There the light is now. You hear the sound. Go back to the TV. Once you're back to the TV as seen here, go to your inputs again by pressing the input button on your remote. Go to inputs. Look for the one that's lit up. There it is. HDMI 2 is now highlighted, meaning it's actually HDMI 2. There you go. So the switch 2 has turned on, and of course the signal is now being received, and as you can see, we're up and running. Sometimes the HDMI cable can be bad, so you can also switch the HDMI cable as well for a new one or a spare one that you might have. Another note guys, and of course the switch 2 has gone back to sleep, so that's normal, but check this out. I suggest that you switch HDMI ports. Sometimes, for example, let's say there's a fault with port 2. I suggest that you go to the back of the TV and switch the HDMI from port, let's say 2 to port 1 or to port 3. So if you have a faulty port, you can actually switch out that particular port. And if the port is a problem, it should start working. Alright, so the switch 2 is up, and of course everything is working, and that's how you do it. If you have any questions, please ask below. That should solve most issues. Alright guys, so that's it, and of course everything is up and running. For additional tutorials how to configure HDR and so on, you can check out my other guides. See you in the next one. Bye.